Welcome to our podcast booth.
Okay,
Are you ready for your first question?
go for it. Yep.
What's your name?
Victor Hung.
Victor. Okay.
That's an easy one.
And where do you work?
EBRD, which is a European Bank for Reconstruction and Development.
Great. So what we're going to do, I'm going to shuffle up these cards here.
Okay.
All right. And we're going to let fate decide what topic we will discuss. All right.
Go for it,
So
yep.
go ahead and just pull one. And then whatever one you pick, hand it over to me.
There you
And
are.
let's see the topic that we got here. Okay. So we recently did a survey or a report. Lenovo interviewed over 600 senior IT leaders.
Okay.
So in our research, we found that 97% of organizations know they must transform their workplace, but over 60% haven't started. So why do you think so many organizations are stuck in the planning phase?
I think it's a lack of strategic direction, lack of vision, financial constraints as well. Or it could just be, the market is changing too much. Workforce is changing a lot as well, especially in the last couple of years with the way that the workforce has been shaped. So people have moved to sort of hybrid. So, this is like everything's just changing so fluidly.
Yeah.
Not like, 50 years ago when things were quite structured and rigid. Now it's a matter of how do you organize your institution.
So it's almost like because we're moving so quickly, it's like something else gets introduced and you're like, oh, well, we need a plan for that. Like, let's make a process for that. And then another feature or product gets introduced. It's like, oh, well, let's go back to the drawing board and do that.
Yep.
But that could potentially hinder like progress if we're just like stuck in the planning phase.
And that's why the move to go a bit more fluidly to sort of adapt, work more with more agility.
Yeah.
So, inside there, they're already talking about AI, what it could do with shaping the workforce. Moving into sort of more, fluidity of between business and processes and technology, and just saying, everything in the future is going to be a mixture of that. Whereas traditionally we've had more structured, siloed areas, defined departments and, functionalities.
Absolutely.
Now it's going to be a bit more, everyone does everything. So that's hard to manage but also hard to develop a vision or strategy for that.
Right. It's hard to develop a vision and a strategy for something that we've literally never done before.
Yeah.
Like
It's organic,
How do you plan for something that is the first time that we've ever seen it be implemented or used, right?
Yeah. You look at the pandemic, that was a huge game changer.
Yeah.
And people just had to react quickly, so it just depends on, I guess, the fundamental structure of your company, whether it's got the ability to adapt or whether it doesn't, which some have not.
All right. I like this. Why don't we do one last question? Is that fair?
Go for it, yeah.
Okay.
Come on.
Let's see what we got. Okay. So in our report, we found that transformation isn't just about technology. That's a given. Like when you think about how you transform the workplace, it's not just about the thing itself.
Yeah.
There's other factors that influence the
People and
transformation.
processes primarily, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So skills development,
Yep.
integration, people, processes, right? But so in your view, which of the challenges is the hardest to overcome? Like the people, the processes, the management of the people? Yeah. Yeah. And tell me a little bit about that complexity and what that really means for an organization.
I'm not going to get too deep into this because this is a huge spiel. But
it is a podcast. So.
I mean, you look at the workforce these days, Generation Z versus the people who used to work in these industries, in the baby boomers time, significant change. Incentives are different, not just skills, but what they want. It's hugely different. So, I mean, you can change a process, you can balance that out. Technology, you can adapt it or let it go. But people, which is still core to everything that everyone does, is going to be something that's you're never going to be able to predict. And it's going to be something that's forever changing. We may not even be working the same way in another generation. So it's hugely unpredictable. And I think a lot of companies do struggle to not just attract, but to retain people. And I think even building up skills for a lot of the people, it's down to what people like nowadays.
Right.
It's not even down to what you need to succeed. It's what do they inherently want.
Well, is it fair to say that with things like AI, it may empower people to start to be able to focus on the things that they like more,
Funnily enough, actually, we did a little insight with some high school students.
Yeah.
And giving them a bit of a show and tell on AI. And a lot of them came out with a bit more fear, I guess, that
Really?
that AI would actually, they're buying into the whole media of AI taking their
Yeah.
jobs. So it's interesting that they would come to that arrangement, to that sort of thinking that it's something that would be a threat, not an enabler. So what we're hearing here in this, Gartner conference today is really about it being a helper to people and processes, but the kids have a lot more to go in terms of getting to that place where you see it more as an assistant than more
Right.
of a threat.
Well, then I think that's why it's so important to have, those in leadership be enabling the right type of training to change that narrative,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah.
Right, right. Amazing.
Pretty much. I think it's more experience than training.
Okay,
Training can only go so far, but
that's
I
fair.
think usage and like empirical usage is far more useful. I mean, I run a lot of training myself,
Yeah.
and a lot of people don't connect with it until they actually start using it.
It's like when you read like about how to ride a bike versus when you actually ride a bike,
yeah,
right?
yeah. And
Then
you got to fall off a couple of times.
Yeah, you're gonna
get
fall.
the
You might be
scrapes and
afraid to
bumps.
get on the bike,
yeah,
but once
yeah.
you do it a few times, you get used to it.
You learn from the scrapes,
Right.
not from the theory.
Right,
So, yeah.
right. Well, that wraps it up for our conversation today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for coming by our booth. If any of you are listening are interested in the Lenovo Work Reborn Research Report, make sure you check it out in the description below and subscribe for more educational conversations on how we're bringing new life to the modern workplace.